Alright, let's talk about artificial intelligence. It's that magical, slightly terrifying thing that can write your emails, generate pictures of your grandpa winning a hot dog eating contest, and as it turns out, get alarmingly good at molecular biology. It's like discovering your talking parrot hasn't just been mimicking you, but has also been quietly studying theoretical physics. On June 18, 2025, OpenAI, the company behind ChatGPT, made a rather chilling announcement. They confirmed that their advanced AI models were getting dangerously close to being able to help anyone, design a biological weapon. This isn't some far-off, hypothetical sci-fi scenario anymore. This is a blinking red light on the world's dashboard, and we're all passengers in this speeding car. The discovery wasn't exactly a sudden, aha moment, but more of a creeping dread that grew as they tested their systems. Think of it like this. You give your incredibly smart kid a chemistry set, and you're proud when they make a baking soda volcano. But then you walk in one day, and they've perfectly diagrammed how to synthesize nitroglycerin using only household cleaners. That's essentially what OpenAI found. Their AI, which was built to process language and information, had become so adept at connecting dots across vast scientific databases that it could take publicly available research on viruses and pathogens and start suggesting novel and potentially more dangerous variations. It could effectively become a research assistant for the most nefarious projects imaginable. This isn't just about the AI spitting out scary-sounding words. Internal tests using models similar to GPT-4 revealed a frightening level of capability. For example, the AI was able to suggest plausible ways to make a virus like Ebola more transmissible through the air, using nothing more than open-source scientific papers that are available to anyone with an internet connection. It could process complex biological data, identify toxic compounds, and even outline step-by-step lab procedures. The AI effectively became a bridge, connecting scattered pieces of information to create a coherent and terrifyingly actionable blueprint for creating a pathogen. This is a monumental leap, and frankly, it's one we were not prepared for. The core of the problem lies in the AI's incredible power of synthesis. Human experts spend entire careers mastering these fields, but an AI can scan, digest, and cross-reference the entirety of human biological knowledge in a fraction of a second. It doesn't just find information, it generates new ideas from it. It can simulate how molecules will interact and predict the outcomes of genetic modifications, essentially running virtual experiments at a scale and speed that is impossible for humans. This capability, which is a godsend for designing new medicines and vaccines, becomes an unprecedented threat when pointed in the wrong direction. The genie, it seems, is not only out of the bottle, but it also has a PhD in microbiology. For decades, the creation of a sophisticated bioweapon was something reserved for state-level programs with massive budgets and teams of elite scientists. It required deep, specialized knowledge, the kind of expertise you couldn't just pick up from a weekend of Googling. The sheer difficulty of the task was a form of protection for the rest of us. But AI is changing that equation entirely. The single greatest risk identified by experts, including OpenAI's own security lead, Johannes Heidecke, is what they call the elevation of novices. This means the barrier to entry for creating something horrific is being lowered from the level of a nation-state to potentially a single motivated individual in a makeshift lab. Imagine trying to build a car with only a pile of parts and no instructions. It would be nearly impossible unless you were a master mechanic. Now imagine you have a super intelligent assistant who can look at the pile, instantly identify every part, and give you a perfect step-by-step assembly manual complete with diagrams and troubleshooting tips. That's what AI can do for bioweapon design. It automates the knowledge gathering and planning phases, which are often the most difficult hurdles. It can take a person with basic lab skills and give them the intellectual firepower of a seasoned virologist, guiding them through the complex process of pathogen design and synthesis. This democratization of dangerous knowledge is precisely what has security experts so worried. The AI doesn't just provide a list of ingredients, it can suggest modifications to make a pathogen more virulent or resistant to treatment. It can help troubleshoot failed experiments and even suggest where to acquire necessary lab equipment. The distinction between a helpful research tool and a weapon of mass destruction guide becomes terrifyingly thin. It's a classic dual-use dilemma, but supercharged by the speed and scale of modern AI. The same tool that could help cure cancer could, in the wrong hands, be used to engineer a pandemic far deadlier than anything we've ever seen. The consequence is that our old security models are now dangerously outdated. We used to be able to focus on monitoring the physical materials needed for bioweapons. But now, the most dangerous component is information. Information that an AI can generate on demand. This shifts the threat from something tangible and difficult to acquire to something digital and easily accessible. It means a threat that was once confined to a handful of rogue states could now emerge from anywhere, at any time. The pool of potential bad actors has expanded from a few dozen to potentially thousands, and that is a security nightmare of the highest order. Faced with the realization that their creation was on the verge of becoming a potential menace, OpenAI did something that is, frankly, all too rare in the tech world. They hit the pause button. Instead of rushing their most powerful models to market, they have deliberately withheld any AI with significant biological capabilities from public release. This is their emergency brake, a critical decision to prevent these tools from falling into the wrong hands until they can be certain the risks are managed. For the models that are currently available, like O4 Mini, they have implemented stringent tripwires. Any request that smells even remotely like it's related to bioweapons triggers an immediate suspension and a review by both algorithms and human experts. This isn't just a simple filter for bad words. OpenAI developed a comprehensive preparedness framework, a sort of risk assessment scale, in collaboration with cybersecurity and biology experts. This framework scores their models on their capabilities in dangerous areas, including biology. Their upcoming models are expected to reach a high-risk level in this category, which is precisely why they are being kept under lock and key until independent bodies can vet their safety systems. Furthermore, the models are specifically trained to refuse harmful requests. If you ask for a step-by-step guide to making a virus, it's designed to shut you down. For legitimate but sensitive queries in fields like virology, it will provide general knowledge but refuse to give actionable lab instructions. Beyond just refusals, OpenAI has established an always-on monitoring system to detect and flag suspicious activity. This isn't just about waiting for someone to type how to make anthrax. The system looks for patterns of behavior that might indicate someone is trying to cleverly circumvent the safety features over multiple queries. If a user's activity is deemed a credible threat, the company's policy includes not only shutting down their account, but also notifying law enforcement agencies. It's a recognition that this problem extends beyond terms of service and into the realm of national and international security. This is less like a website moderator and more like a digital non-proliferation treaty. To continuously test and strengthen these defenses, OpenAI employs what are known as red teams. These are teams of trusted experts, in this case both AI specialists and biologists, whose entire job is to try and break the system. They act as sophisticated adversaries, using their deep domain knowledge to try and trick the AI into providing dangerous information. This proactive adversarial testing is crucial for finding vulnerabilities before actual bad actors do. They are essentially paying experts to think like villains in order to build a safer system for everyone else, a necessary and humbling part of taking responsibility for the powerful technology they have unleashed. Slamming the brakes and red teaming your own products is a vital first step, but OpenAI knows it's not enough. A problem this big cannot be solved by one company alone. That's why they are shifting their focus toward building a global consensus on how to manage this risk. This very month in July 2025, the company is convening a major international summit on biodefense, bringing together government researchers, independent scientists, and public policy experts from around the world. The goal is to move beyond individual company policies and start building a coordinated global strategy to prevent the misuse of AI in biology. This is the second such summit, following an initial one in July 2024, signaling a sustained and escalating effort. This collaborative approach involves deep partnerships with government agencies and research institutions. OpenAI is already working with entities like the US and UK's AI Safety Institutes and the Los Alamos National Laboratory to share information, identify new threats, and develop stronger safeguards. The thinking is simple. The people who have spent their lives studying biosecurity and non-proliferation are the best equipped to help guide the AI industry. It's an admission that the coders in Silicon Valley do not have all the answers, and that a bridge must be built between the worlds of tech innovation and public safety before it's too late. However, one of the most sobering points that OpenAI continues to make is that the window to contain this risk is closing fast. Right now, there are no binding international laws or regulations specifically governing the development of AI with these capabilities. A company can voluntarily choose to be responsible, but there is nothing to stop a less scrupulous competitor from plowing ahead recklessly. This is why OpenAI is publicly calling for regulation, including measures like mandatory screening for all nucleic acid synthesis orders, basically ensuring that the companies that print DNA aren't fulfilling orders for plague viruses. This is a call to regulate not just the AI, but the entire biotechnology ecosystem it interacts with. Ultimately, the future of AI safety in biology depends on what happens next. These summits and partnerships must lead to concrete action and enforceable international agreements. The dual-use nature of this technology means we can't simply ban it. Its potential for good in medicine and science is too great. Instead, we need to build a robust system of checks and balances, a combination of technical safeguards, vigilant monitoring, and strong laws. The challenge is to foster innovation while surgically removing its most dangerous possibilities. The path forward requires a level of global cooperation and foresight that we don't often see, but the stakes couldn't be higher. If you like watching fun facts, like and subscribe. But here's why your attention matters more than ever. The story of AI and biotechnology isn't just unfolding in government summits or behind the closed doors of high-tech labs. It's happening in the open, with public awareness, conversation, and pressure shaping what comes next. Every view, every share, and every voice calling for responsible innovation adds another layer of accountability. As the world races to keep up with technology's breakneck pace, the choices we make, individually and together, can help set the course. Stay curious, stay informed, and keep asking the tough questions. Because the future of AI isn't just in the hands of experts, it's in all of ours.